Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to be talking about Season 2 of, or Phase 2 of Season of Discovery. And real quick, this footage is from the lunar event last year on Era. I just got done grinding sand in Silithus on my way to rank 14. But before I can, I digress. Obviously, the thumbnail and the title list is pretty clickbaity. I am actually like pretty frustrated though. Um, I understand, and I'll just start off by saying this: like, I understand the need to kind of keep things a secret and keep them under wrap to keep that element of surprise and discovery alive. But man, any form of knowledge about how the bosses would have as much armor as Nax 40 bosses would have been greatly appreciated before I took time off of work and leveled a warrior or leveled my warrior. If I had known this, I probably would have just leveled my warlock first and enjoyed that. But having now spent an entire weekend and taking 2 days off to get to 40 just to see that for whatever fucking reason, Blizzard has decided to put armor from Nax 40 equivalent levels on a level 40 level up raid for 10 man. This completely goes against everything that they've said about, oh, well, we want to keep the 10 mans easy. We want to keep it that. If you're keeping it easy, why the fuck are you putting armor levels from Nax on it? Like, I'm not saying the raids are hard, but it just doesn't make sense. Like, it's so stupid. And I was so hyped for Phase 2. Dual wield was finally it was good in Phase 1, but it was going to be better in Phase 2. And dual wield Fury Warrior is the best way to do it. And like, I'm going to touch on that real quick. I fucking hate that Warrior is pushed into this hole of having to play two-hander. I don't know anyone who's played Vanilla Warrior and has said, man, that's a very fun spec, but I really wish I could do that with two-handers. I don't know anyone who saw Gressel or THC and was like, man, that's really cool, but I wish I could be using Might of the Metathil instead. No one said that. No one talks about Warrior and Vanilla, who's like just the average player and not a PvP head, and says, yeah, dude, Arms is the best spec. I want to go back and play vanilla Arms. No one says that. No one ever says that. Like, that's not a thing. No one does that. No one does no one talks about that. Like, I can understand PvP people who are like, yeah, I want to go back and like get full bis and like crank someone in PvP with my Metathil. Totally understand that. But for like a level up and just going back to play a vanilla warrior, like from the get-go, I don't want to play two-hander. I don't want to play arms. Like, that's not why I'm here. That's not why I came back to essentially a fresh setting of vanilla to play warrior. Like, it's not what I'm interested in. It's I've got zero interest in that. Like, I'm gonna keep playing SoD, but if it keeps trending in this direction, warrior. Let's just go. I'm kind of tilted, but let's just get kind of right into it. Warrior was not a class that needed any tuning. It could have just stayed pretty much how it is. They could have given us, I mean, kept the runes they gave, but this is the class that needed the least amount of changes. Everyone knows how good Warrior was in vanilla. Needed the least amount of changes. I am totally fine with them buffing other classes. If other classes' runes just pushed them over us into this phase, I'd be fine with that. What I'm not fine with is sitting at a fucking boss, the harder bosses of the raid, and being able to do nothing on it because it has armor equivalent even after armor reductions. Even after armor reductions. Even after Sunder, even after all that. To having equivalent levels of Molten Core, and if I'm not mistaken, Nax 40. I know it's Nax 40 pre armor reductions, but I think even after armor reductions, it still has the same armor levels as Nax 40. I'm not okay with that. Again, if a Boomkin was just better than me this phase, their runes just overpowered them this phase, I'd be totally cool with it. Like, that's awesome. But if I'm like still like third or something like that, but just sitting there, being able to do nothing, and having the nerf to CBR, like, it's so lame. It's so stupid. I don't understand it. Casters got spell resistance buffs in BFD, and I was happy for them. I will say that like I did understand the hunter nerfs, and I went along with that. Hunters were insane in PvP still. Warriors are not insane in PvP right now. Warriors have the hardest solo leveling content. Warriors have the hardest just solo time out in the open world as is. Warriors need a ton of consumes. Like, there's so many cons to playing a warrior that them being so good in a raid environment is what makes them so fun to play in vanilla. They're the top dog of DPS. They bring their Battle Shout, they bring their Sunners, they bring their DPS. Like, that's literally what a warrior does in a vanilla iteration of the game. And I know, this isn't vanilla, this is Season of Discovery. And, like, we can talk about it another time, I'll address it now, but that has been one of my core, like, kind of red flags going into Season of Discovery. Because they did the same thing with Psalm, where they changed the initial game way too much that the people who really love vanilla just aren't interested in it. They're not going to play it without world buffs. They're not going to play it without this, right? That those people just don't retain interest throughout the expansion. And now you're having that again, where it's like the people who are going to go play Era, who are going to go play community projects of vanilla for years. Those people, if the game strays way too far from the path of vanilla, and not just like simple balancing or maybe unraids that they didn't finish, they're going to quit. They're going to leave. They're not going to keep playing it. And I'm almost in that boat where I'm just like, yeah, dude, like, this is not fun. Like, this is not cool. And it's insane to me. It's insane to me that people don't understand that. Where it's like, haha, like, Warriors have been good for so long. Hold the L, dude. Like, that sucks for Warriors. That's so stupid for Warriors, bro. Like, haha, stupid Warriors. Like, the sole purpose of a Warrior in a vanilla setting is that they're good at DPS. Because, man, they're pretty limited at everything else outside of that. They are 2 specs for DPS. They have 1 spec for tanking, which was top dog in Phase 1 by the numbers, by the DPS. And then throw them into Phase 2 and just, like, completely take that away from them. And I could be overreacting. It could be, and I don't feel like I'm overreacting, because right now I'm looking at it, and this isn't like Phase 1, where it was like, okay, yeah, we just need gear, we're going to catch up. This is like, holy shit, we could probably be full BIS, but we're not going to be able to do really much with that armor buff on. And it's like, oh, well, this is the first time Warriors are dealing with class balancing. Like, motherfucker, if you're saying that, I want you to seriously look at me and tell me that TBC didn't exist for Warriors, where the average Warrior was not even getting into dungeon groups, or where, hell yeah, Dua Lipa, hell yeah, my future ex-wife, Dua Lipa, fuck yeah, brother, or Wrath, where Warriors again got the short end of the stick, really until the end of the expansion, maybe TOGC, maybe Elduar, but like that's what happens. Like, vanilla is just a spot where Warriors are really good. And I'm fine with other classes being given runes to catch up, but I don't like adding in something that just feels bad, such as the armor buff. It's not like, oh yeah, they just got more runes, and they're really powerful now. This is literally like, oh cool, I can't hit this for anything, I'm getting no rage, I actually just can't really play the game right now. Or, oh, if I want to play this, I'm going to have to play the stupid spec that no one in their right mind ever wants to play. No one ever wants to go play vanilla for arms. Like, that's not what I'm here for. And if that's the way it's going to keep going, I really don't know if I'm going to keep playing. Like, I'm very frustrated. Who knows? Maybe by the time this posts tomorrow, it's gonna be fixed. Maybe by the time they've announced something about it. But there's a lot of people upset about it, and I'm gonna post a link to this. But I think I have it. I don't have it. Sony. Okay, we're pulling this up right now. Oh, nice. Nice. Warriors are in dire need of utility, survivability, fun runes outside of what we have. The class, for the most part, plays the same way it did in 2005. Enraged, Regen, Victory Rush do not properly heal to scale relative to damage output from any class in PvP, making the rune choices completely obsolete. This is true, by the way. If you don't have a pocket healer with you in PvP, like, it's not fun. Like, it's objectively just not fun. And it was kind of like that in vanilla too, but just not as bad, because obviously other classes are just doing way more damage now. Making the rune choices completely obsolete. The runes suck. Like, the slam rune that makes it instant blood surge is nice. I like that one a lot. I think it's fun. It's a nice little pump one. The healing one when you're enraged, I also don't really mind either. It's something that I don't mind, like, popping to help my healers out, and for like someone in a speedrun guild, I don't really mind it. I think it's an okay rune. I'm gonna have to get the intervene one. I think people are running that one too, but for right now, I don't mind the healing one. It's decent. The new runes we received in both Phase 1 and Phase 2 are lackluster damage, speed, percent chance. There is no refreshing twist on Warrior outside of Warbringer. Many warriors are fine if we become middle of the pack in Nomer slash PvP. We just want new flavor in our classes, given all the incredibly cool stuff every other class has received. From what I've gathered, it's never been about us retaining number one spot in DPS meters once every 3 days in a raid. We want cool, fun stuff. This hits the nail on the head. I'm totally cool if we're the third or fifth DPS spot. I want it to be fun. I don't want to sit there and hit a boss and just get absolutely no rage. This everything going to 60 is just an appetizer for me. It's fun stuff. It's fun content. But man, I'm waiting for 60. And if Warriors trash at 60 right now, they do some stupid shit like this, I'm definitely gone. But Stormbolt, Spear Bastion, Anti-Magic Shell, this would all be cool stuff. Shockwave, Bladestorm. Bladestorm would be cool. People keep talking about Bladestorm. You know, CC, not damage, banners to intervene, heal, protect. Like, this is all cool stuff, dude. If we're going to be all in or nothing else with PvP, help us be all in or nothing. We die too fast. Damage only comes online with Wind Fury, and outside of Furious's Hamstring, we have zero utility. This is true. This is so true. I really urge the development team at SoD to monitor feedback given by warriors outside of Nomer. We're crying out here. And man, dude, it's fucking rough out here for warriors. It's annoying that people just lack the ability to provide any form of sympathy just because warrior was very good at vanilla or was very good in phase 1. Every class should be able to pump, putting in something that just doesn't allow people to pump. Like if they had kept spell resistances in phase 1, that would have been very lame. But this is very lame, and I would say more lame than that. But anyways, take care, y'all. Have a great night. Hopefully they fix this, because they've been doing a fantastic job with communication and actively changing things. But yeah, hopefully they change this soon, because this is a horrible start to phase 2.